Hello YouTube chess lovers and my friends, this is Gunjan here. Welcome to the 10th part of one of the most successful chess series on YouTube, Dirty Chess Tricks. Now, as per the request from many of my subscribers, I'm going to concentrate some of the very aggressive opening from the black perspective. The most frequent opening which is used from master level to the beginners is the Italian game, which start with the move order e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6 and bishop to c4. Now here there are two main moves from the black perspective. One is bishop to c5 and the other is knight to f6. But the problem with the move knight to f6 is if white wants, white can immediately start attacking the black king via the move knight to g5. I'm not saying this opening is bad for black, but white has many great attacking ideas such as fried liver attack or the lolly attack. Not to mention there are many gambits exist in this line. So all in all, you need to know a lot of theory as a black, and apart from that your defensive skill should be very good. So that's why this opening attracts many players, especially players below the 1600, because they can crush their opponents very easily. But as a black, this is exactly we want, because here I'm going to propose the move which is not proposed in many books and videos, that is the move d5, but instead of that we are going to play a stunner, that is bishop to c5. Bam. And if white has seen this position first time, he will consider that you are a completely fool or the noob who doesn't have any idea what's going on the board. I still remember when first time I played this opening against a rated player, he gave me a glance and like he's saying inside, are you serious, man? Is this guy is really a good rated player? But nevertheless, this opening has a big venom. Now the obvious move over here is knight captures f7. It's a natural looking move, and what can be wrong, because it's attacking the queen and a rook, and what is black is going to do about it. Before we move on, I like to mention two important points over here. The first thing is, in this lecture I'm not covering the whole theory. I'm going to concentrate only the tricks and traps exist in this Traxler Counter Attack. And the second thing is, as a black, you need to prepare yourself for sacrificing the heavy material. The simple reason is, in many cases these three queenside pieces of the white will never come into the picture. That means initially white is 3 pieces down, so it gives us a license to become hell loose. After the move knight captures f7, here comes the second dazzling move, that is bishop captures f2. Bam. If white is shocked with your first move, he will be double shocked with this move, because he will definitely wonder what's going on the board. First of all, it's a check. So here white has two obvious moves: either white capture that bishop or just run away. In the first possibility, we are going to have a look what will happen after king captures f2. After king captures f2, we are going to play the obvious move, that is knight to e4 with a check, and now king has few squares to go. Amongst them, king to g1 and king to e3 are the most critical one. But first we need to know what we should do if the king goes to the other squares. So the first move I need to consider is king to f3. After king to f3, the obvious move is queen to f6 with a check. And if white has come this far, then there is no sense of playing any other moves. So white has to accept this knight. And now queen to f4 is not clear, because white king has a chance to escape. So instead of that, I'm going to propose the second move, that is the move d5, and this is more or less confirm the black victory. Now please note, king cannot capture this pawn, because if king captures d5, then there's a checkmate in 2. You can find it by your own. I'm showing you right now. So we have a knight check, and if the king goes to the e4, then queen f4 is a checkmate, and if king goes to the c5, then queen b6 is a checkmate. So it's very obvious that bishop has to capture this pawn. So bishop captures d5, and now we are going to play queen to f4 check. So the only move is king to d3, afterwards queen to d4 check, and after king to e2 we are going to simply snap up that bishop. We regain our piece, and now we are continuously threatening two squares, that is f7 and g2. But that is not the only threat. If white plays a blunder move, that is knight captures rook, then the whole idea is revealed, because now we are going to play bishop to g4 and skewering king and a queen. So those are some of the wonderful traps exist in king to f3 line. The second move I want to consider is king to e2. After king to e2, it's not a good square, because now the second knight can join into the party with the move knight to d4 check. And once again, the only good square for the white king is king to e3, because if the king goes to the d3, then knight to f2 will simply give a family fork, which cannot be good. So king to e3 is forced, and now we are going to play the move queen to h4. So idea is very simple. From the next move we want to play queen to f4, which forces king to go to the d3, and then we'll play knight to f2. Accordingly, white has only few responses left. If the very obvious one, that is knight captures h8, then it leads to the checkmate. So it's a quick checkmate. Let me go through it. Queen to f4 check, king to d3, and now comes our favorite king dance. Let's start with the move knight to c5, king to c3, and then the moves are like this. And finally, with the pawn moves, we are checkmating the white king. Rather nice, right? So that means at this point knight captures h8 is prohibited. If white plays d3, we can simply capture this d3 pawn with the knight. So that leads to the only move left, that is rook to f1. But after this we have another stunning move, that is the move d5. Right now we are not worried about white capturing the materials. Instead of that, we are concentrating on the development. Now once again, knight captures at h8 will fail, because we'll play queen to g5 check, and we can check out by your computers, this is mate in few moves. So very obvious is white needs to capture the d5 pawn. But after this we'll play another winning move, that is bishop to g4. Bam! The queen cannot go to the e1 because there is a knight fork. So the only counter reply left is g3. But afterwards the very simple queen to h5, and now there is no escape. I reached this position in one of my game. My opponent replied over here queen to e1, but after this I played knight check, which is a fork, and after king captures e4, knight captures e1, rook captures e1, white doesn't have enough compensation. So the game concluded very fast. So I played queen to f5 check, and after king to e3 I just played rook to f8, and my opponent resigned over here. So that is about king to e2. The third move I want to consider is king to e1, which as a naked eye it looks a ugly move, because obvious move is queen to h4 check, and the only reply left is g3. Afterwards it's very obvious that black is going to capture that pawn. Now two replies exist over here. In the first one, if white capture the rook in the corner, then there is an accurate move order which finished the white off instantly. So there is a mate in 4. I'm showing you right now. So it's a knight to e4 with a check, king to e2, queen to f2, king to d3, and now there are two ways you can checkmate black king. I'm showing you one of them. So knight to b4 check, and after king to e4, queen to f4 is a checkmate. So this pattern is coming up more often, so you should remember this pattern. And the second one, instead of capturing the rook in the corner, white capture the knight. So h captures g3. Here black will capture the rook, and after bishop to f1 we are going to play a very simple move but very effective one, castle. So that pin the knight. White has the only good reply, that is queen to e2. But after this we are going to attack that queen with the move knight to d4, and after queen to g2 will happily exchange the queen, because the resulting position will only favor the black. So this is once again a winning position for black. So that is about king to e1. The last move left is king to f1, but once again this cannot be good. The only thing you need to be taken care of is you cannot play queen to f6, because that would allow white to play queen to f3. So instead of that, we need to play the move queen to h4, threatening a checkmate on f2. The only reply left is white needs to defend that square with the queen, but however it will play, it will not work out. So for example, in the first move, if white plays the move queen to e1, then there comes the knight check. The only good reply over here is queen takes knight. And if you count the material over here, black is a clear 2-piece down. But see the magic. First of all, we take this bishop with a check, and after the move d3, we capture the knight with the check, and after the king moves, we just castle on the king side. So from 2-piece down, we now become 1 pawn ahead, and white king is clearly misplaced. Once again, I can say this is a winning position for black. Now instead of queen to e1, if white plays queen to f3 or queen to e2, more or less same story, because we are going to give this check, and if the queen captures, then queen to c4, we already look at this position. And instead of that, if the king runs away, for example king to g1, then the simplest is queen check, and after queen to e3, we just capture this bishop. So now we are threatening two things. We are threatening a checkmate on f1, as well as threatening to capture the knight. So white is obliged to capture that knight. Afterwards, we regain our piece and once again emerge with a winning position.